What's up, everybody? It's the Kenner Collector here. Thanks again for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate it. In this week's episode, we're going to break down all the original vintage Kenner monsters and creatures that were originally produced back in the late 70s, early 80s, like the Rancor monster, the Wampa, a few others. I'm really excited to do this video. These are some of my favorite figures or creatures or monsters in the original vintage Kenner line. So let's go check out all these creatures and monsters right now. So this is the first monster I wanted to feature in this week's episode. It's the Dianoga Trash Monster. We originally got this from Kenner. It was included in the Death Star Space Station playset, so you can play with him down in the trash compactor. I got this little mini box here. And, just an amazing scene from the first Star Wars film, A New Hope, back in 1977. And this was just such a cool, monster from that movie. I even got this little stand for it. It's really great if you want to display this piece. So in A New Hope, this was about all we saw of the Dianoga Trash Monster. We did see some of its tentacles wrapping up Luke, dragging him down to the, murky waters below, the nasty stuff, whatever was at the bottom of that trash compactor inside the Death Star. So I love this part of the space station. He just comes out, came with all this really cool foam. This is obviously foam that's been replaced. You can get a bunch of different types of foam. You can get movie accurate foam, this type of foam, if you get on, eBay or Etsy. So that's the Dianoga Trash Monster. And the next creature that I wanted to feature is the Dewback. So we originally seen this. It was weird because when we first saw it in A New Hope on the, in the dunes of Tatooine, it was very, very small, kind of in the background, didn't move. And when we got the, re-released, remastered, version of it, it was obviously CGI. The Dewback was, moving all over the place, over the sand. And when we got this from Kenner, it was just a really, really cool piece because we didn't have any movement in the film originally or anything like that. So you can just see some really cool stuff when the tail moves, the head moves. It's got the reins. These break. They're very, very brittle. I think this has even been repaired. And also, it's got this really cool trap door, so you can take, the Stormtrooper in and out. You can see it's spring-loaded because obviously these knees are not bending on this bad boy. So the Patrol Dewback, one of my favorite creatures, definitely from A New Hope. Awesome. Comes with the reins, the saddle bags. And my favorite part is when you move the head, moves the tail. So very, very cool piece. And here's the vintage box that the Patrol Dewback came in from Kenner. Really, really cool artwork. I love the coloration with the black and the yellow contrast. The Amazing Star Wars logo in the upper left. You can see the Dewback on the dune sea, the sand floor, very cool. Then I love the bottom left here. You can see Obi-Wan with Luke and the droids kind of hiding, trying to, stay behind the stormtroopers, trying not to get caught. And there you can see kind of here on top, I'll move this over here. You can you see the play features with the trap door, and there it has it with the reins and the saddle off. So just a beautiful box, awesome design, awesome artwork by Kenner. And the next creature here, we have the Tauntaun. So Han Solo obviously had to go track down Luke out in the storm. It was getting very, very bad on the planet of Hoth, but he would not let down his favorite best buddy, Luke Skywalker. So he tracks him down, finds him escaped from the Wampa, wandering around, passed out, face down in the snow. And I love this. It comes just like the Dewback, comes with the reins, the trap door. This is kind of my beater Han Solo in his Hoth gear. But these can be very hard to find intact with the saddle, the reins, and even this piece here that goes in the mouth. I don't know what that's called, but very cool creature. Came in 2 different versions. So once Han Solo was able to rescue Luke, he had no option but to cut open the Tauntaun, revealing the open belly and keeping his buddy Luke Skywalker warm until they could get him back to Echo Base. So this is the open belly. Came with the either closed belly version or the open belly version. And these both had different types of boxes, but very, very cool play feature on this one. I loved this as a kid. I was always stuffing him in and out of this thing. It was really, really cool feature. So those are the 2 different versions of the Tauntaun.
Your Tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker. I'll see you in hell.
Here's the box art on the Tauntaun creature. You can see Han Solo there after he saved the day with a couple rebel soldiers, Princess Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2. And again, just beautiful box art. Love the Empire Strikes Back dual color logo there at the top. It's got all the different play features on the back. This is obviously the closed belly version. I do not have the box for the open belly version, but you can check that out online somewhere, Google Images. But yeah, it shows the trap door back here, how you kind of put the saddle around the belly of the Tauntaun, and then it's got this really cool picture here on the top. Again, awesome artwork for the Tauntaun box as well. The next creature here, we have the Wampa from the Planet of Hoth. You know, the poor guy, he was just, trying to get some food, keep warm in his cave, stumbled across, Luke Skywalker. Unfortunately, he was a Jedi. Tore off his arm with his lightsaber, seared right through it, and pretty sure he didn't survive the attack from Jedi Luke. But really, really awesome creature here. You can see his really cool horns. Amazing detail on this piece with the hair, the plastic mold that they did. Obviously, this thing yellows like crazy. To find one that's in, awesome mint condition, pearly white is very tough to do. Obviously, you can put these and the Stormtroopers in, I think, hydrogen peroxide, something like that, out in the sun for a while, and they whiten back up. But really, really cool monster. Has these awesome arms. I love the paw detail here on both arms. Very, very cool. And he can obviously hold stuff up over his head. You can hold figures like that. You can see here the bottom of his feet go in 2 different directions, which can kind of be hard to get him standing up. But very, very cool creature. One of my favorites from the entire vintage Star Wars line. And then here's the packaging they used for the Wampa. When they had the mini rigs and some of these other creatures like this, they use this kind of weird box that has the side flap and then the main compartment here, which held the toy or the figure. Again, great artwork. Shows the spring-loaded hands knocking the Tauntaun out. It's got Luke hanging in the cave. But with these smaller boxes, I'm sure it allowed them to get more in a shipping container from overseas, bring them in, but also have bigger real estate here, which is really cool for the art. And last but not least, we have from the Return of the Jedi, Jabba's palace, his main monster, the Rancor. This is one of my favorite scenes in the entire original trilogy. Luke getting dropped down into the cave, defeating the Rancor, just the different characters in Jabba's palace. It was just such a cool scene. Kind of a David and Goliath type scene. I'm sure when George Lucas was, writing the script, that probably came into his mind. But just an amazing, figure that we got here from Kenner. This maybe was my favorite, monster or creature growing up. Obviously it has this little button here that opens and closes the Rancor monster's jaw. There you go. So, and it's got articulated hands, which was new. Obviously, none of the figures that we got, the action figures, they all had, 5 points of articulation, but this was something cool because you could put the figure in his hand, and rise him up in the air. I love this piece. The paint on this one's actually really, really good. His teeth can be tough to get pearly white when you're looking online or looking to purchase this bad boy, but just the detail too, like just the spine and the bones and everything on him is really, really cool. The curves, the wrinkly skin, and obviously the tail, really cool as well. So that's the Rancor. And the box that the Rancor came in. This was awesome artwork as well. You have the Gamorrean Guard there, depending on how you pronounce it. In the articulated claw of the Rancor, you have Jedi Luke searching for this bone to help save the day, lodge it in his jaws. And this box was massive. I remember getting it as a kid. I was like, whoa, this figure is going to be really, really big. You can just see, compared to the Tauntaun box, how big this piece is. Very, very cool. So this is the art. Again, they did an amazing job, shooting these figures, creating the box art. So when we saw this on the shelves as a kid, we told our parents we just had to have it. So I found this YouTube video a while back. This guy came across an insane collection that he bought at his toy store. I think it was over in England that he was selling everything off. And when I saw all the monsters and the creatures in these really cool large acrylic cases and, mint condition, I started collecting my own. Not a huge fan of grading and putting these, in cases, but they just look so cool, outside of the action figure run. And I think both of these got 80s, but you can see here the pearly white Wampa. And it's just such a big, acrylic case. Looks so cool for display. And then you have the Dianoga Trash Monster here. They did a really cool job encasing him with the pegs. I think it looks really, really nice. So again, not for everybody, but I did want to try to collect these. I may try to find the rest of the creatures in mint condition as I come across them, send them out for grading, because these are really tough to find on the open market graded. That's a wrap on this week's video. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button down below. Throw me a like. It supports the channel. I really appreciate everybody's support. Can't wait to do the next video. I hope you all enjoyed the creatures and monsters from the original Kenner vintage Star Wars line. And remember to always collect the Kenner.